Okay, from this topic we talk on the inverse function. So for us to solve the inverse function, it says to find the inverse function f of x. This is the notation. Take the following steps. Number one, write the function as a linear equation. That is, we write f of x as y. Then the next one says swap x and y. And the next, you solve for y. Then what you have as a result, you have to write it in inverse notation. For example, if we have something like, let me say, f of x to be equal to 2x plus 5, and we may be asked to find the inverse of this. This is the notation for the inverse. We'll be asked to find the inverse of this. So from this equation, what I have to do first of all, from the first says write the function as a linear equation. I will have to replace this using y. That will now be y is equal to 2x plus 5. The next says swap x and y. So I will swap x and y. Anywhere I see x, replace it with y, y replace with x. So this is y. I will now have it to be x is equal to 2. This is x. I will have it to be y plus 5. Now I'm going to solve this equation. That is number 3. Says solve for y. I'm going to solve equation to find y. Then for me to solve this equation, first of all, this is plus 5. Take 5 out from here. That is minus 5 here. Minus 5 here. This gives us x minus 5 is equal to 2y. So since I have x minus 5 is equal to 2y, the next thing I'm going to do is to divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. This cancel this. We have y is equal to, this is x minus 5 over 2. And we have solved for y. Now the last one says write the y, then write y in inverse notation. I'll now write this y in inverse notation. So inverse notation is the inverse of x, which gives us x minus 5 over 2. So just this is the inverse. Okay, so with that we can quickly solve these two equations, these two questions here. This says that the first one, f of x is equal to 2x plus 5 over 3. Find the value of this, the inverse. Okay, I'll solve that one after the other. We have that f of x is equal to 2x plus 5 over 3. 2x plus 5 over 3. Then we're asked to find f inverse. For us to find this, first of all, I have to, from the notation, from the steps, first I have to write this as a linear equation by replacing this with y. I will have this to be y is equal to 2x plus 5 over 3. The next step is I'll swap x and y. This is y, I'll have it to be x. This is x, I'll have it to be y. We have 2y plus 5 all over 3. Now the next step, the number 3 step, is I'm going to solve for y. Solve for y. Yeah, for me to solve for y, first of all, I will cross multiply, or I can say multiplying both sides by 3, any which way. If I cross multiply, this times this is 3x is equal to this times this is 2y plus 5. Okay, so I'm solving for y. I have to subtract 5 from both sides. So if I subtract 5 from both sides, I have this to be 3x minus 5 is equal to, this is 2y. Then next I will divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2. 2 cancel this is y. Then this gives us 3x minus 5 over 2. Now the last step is I will change this to be the inverse function notation. So y now will now be the inverse. I will change it to be the inverse since I finished solving. So that gives us the inverse 3x minus 5 over 2. So this is how we solve the inverse. Now the next question that follows, B says find the inverse of 3. Now for us to find the B part, for us to find the inverse of 3, that means that we are going to replace x to be 3. You can see we have already found the inverse. We are going to replace x to be 3. So that means that here I will have 3. This x now will now be this 3. 3 minus 5 over 2. So 3 times 3 is 9. I have 9 minus 5 is 4 over 2. So that gives us a 2. So this is how we solve it. Then the next one is, here we have number 2 question. I will solve it here. 2 question says f such that x map to x over 2 plus 6. Here we are asked to find the inverse of this. Now for us to find this, I say that this can also be written as f of x to be equal to x over 2 plus 6. Then from this point now, I'm going to replace this using y. I have y is equal to x over 2 plus 6. So I will now swap x and y. This is y, it will not be x. This is x, it will not be y. Now the next thing I will do is to solve for y. I will solve for y. For me to solve for y, we have this to be, I'll subtract 6 from both sides. Subtract 6 from both sides, we have x minus 6 is equal to y over 2. This is 0. Now next I will go to cross multiply. This time this is y, and this time gives us 2x minus 6. So here I'm now have to replace this with the inverse. So have the inverse of x to be 2 into x minus 6. And the question says find the inverse of y. So the inverse of minus 5 or 5, which the question say the inverse of 5 will now be, I replace x to be 5. So this gives us 2 into 5 minus 6. And that gives us 2 into 5 minus 6 is minus 1. And we have that to be minus 2. And this is how we solve for the inverse.